I'm going to give it just a minute to see if anyone joins us. If you're here after the live, thank you so much for being here. And I just want to take a look at some things that we can do that's going to move us on into the next year, 2026. And so that we can release some things. We need to release some things, and we need to pull in some things that we're looking for during the year. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hi, Latrice. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hi, Hazel. Hazel Timmons, 4893. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I decided to do something a little different because we're getting to the end of the year. And I wanted to make sure that I came on and kind of give you guys a little hopefully a boost as we go into the year 2026. And it is upon us right now. Hi, Christine. Thank you for being here. My wonderful moderators, I appreciate you guys for checking in. Thank you so much. So the first thing I want to do is to do a reading for the collective. So I'm just going to light a candle because tonight, I think that we need to we've been through a lot, and there's some things that we need to release because we have, I don't know what is the word I want to say. There's been a lot of pressure this year. Hi, Jackie. Thank you, Latrice. We've been kind of put under a lot of pressure this year, even though we may not know that. We didn't expect to be here where we are now, but we're here. And we want to release some things that we picked up over 2025 as we move into 2026. So if you have pen and paper, you can just kind of say what you're releasing and that kind of thing as we move on into the program. But let me do a quick read for the collective and see what we have looking forward to for the next year. I feel like, guys, we need to kind of calm ourselves a little bit. I feel like I need to calm myself. So I'm thinking that everybody else is feeling the same way because of all the stuff that's been going on. 2025 has been one of those years, very unusual year because of, who we have in office. There's been a lot of lying and there's been a lot of just trolling and just trying to make us feel a certain kind of way, which I think is the whole agenda. But once we realize that, I think we need to kind of just let it go because, hopefully it's a lot of things that he's doing is not affecting a lot of people. But I know it will, especially that healthcare thing. And, we need to try to some kind of way calm ourselves, calm our nerves, period. So I'm just hoping that this little ritual that we're going to do tonight is going to help with that. But first of all, let's do a collect reading for the collective. And I don't want to go, let's just say there's so much that can happen, guys. You know that. And we put timetables on things. Everybody has free will. So let's look at the collective for the upcoming month of January. We've had enough going on in the month of December that we should see some kind of movement, some kind of change coming up for the month of January. Some things should start to shift. I feel that. And hopefully things will shift for the better. All right. So let's see. All right, Spirit. We need to know, give us a collective read for the month of January coming up. The month of January coming up. I know I'm a little early tonight, so it's probably not a lot of people join up right now, but hopefully they'll join us. All right. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm getting here, we have there is some disappointment, and I'm thinking when I'm thinking of this, we've been disappointed. We've been disappointed. Um, it's crossed by pretty much the institutions, the government, that kind of thing. So, but the foundation, it looks like there's some things that we're going to find out next month. Some other things are going to come out, maybe not a lot more because this card is a page. So, but we're going to get some new information. And someone is going to be leaving, walking away from their position. And we know who we hope that is. But crowning this whole reading is a death card. So definitely there's going to be some changes made. Some new things are going to happen. When we talk about death, we don't talk about literal death. Of course, we know that. And then we also have here the Nine of Pentacles. I think that things are going to, in a sense, turn around for the collective a little bit with this Nine of Pentacles. Guys, I feel like even though they've said that they're not going to vote on the healthcare thing, or it's over because he sent everybody home. I think that something is going to change. Something's going to change with that. Even though people are feeling like a little bit like it's all over. I don't believe that it is. That's my opinion, because there's going to be some kind of offer. There's going to be some kind of offer made, and it's going to be something that is the people may feel like there's a win. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the first part of January, right away when they come in, but there's going to be some kind of shift that's going to happen. And there's going to be, it's going to be concerning the money. So I'm thinking health, because with these pentacles showing up here, and people are disappointed. Pentacles are, they're about health, and people are disappointed at the way things are going right now. I think there's going to be some kind of change with that. And then we have the King of Swords, which is telling me that the law, anyway, the courts are going to get involved in this whole thing, because that is the major thing that the collective is looking at right now, is their health care. So I feel like we are going to see some changes there. And don't think that just because they said it that way and that healthcare is all gone. People. Now, I'm not going to say that the healthcare is not going to be, raised, but there's going to be some kind of action taken that's going to help bring that more into line to where it should be. It's, something's coming up. Okay. So, but what I want to look at, guys, we're talking about your candlelight wishes. If you have a candle, light a candle. And this is about your intentions, because, we have to intend some things as we move into the next year. And with this is actually a 3-day, the 21st is a 3-day, which is about being creative. And today is also, 12, the 12th month, which is also a 3. So today is a good day to set some intentions about what you want for yourself going forward. And just try to be truthful about what you want, about your next step. And this is all about you, period. Doesn't have anything to do with the politics, doesn't have anything, to do with what's going on in society today, because that can change from day to day as far as politics and that kind of thing, hour to hour. As we've been noticing, things just change. We can look at one thing one day, 1 hour's breaking news, then it's another hour's breaking news. That's all to mess with our psyche. So tonight we're going to set some attentions for ourselves about what we want to happen. So I want you guys to just write down, you can even put it in the chat, what you intend to release. And I have my papers here. What you intend to receive and what you choose to do about it. Okay. So I'm going to pull some cards and Spirit, tell me what it is that the people should be looking at releasing at this time. And of course, it's going to be different for everyone depending on where you are as far as what's, going to be released for you. I'm going to pull. Wow. All right. Now, we know that I have this Ace of Swords here, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. Now, we're talking about truth, about the way things actually are. So there's probably some kind of new truth that you need to think about that is going on with you that doesn't involve what's going on in society, but be truthful about it. It may involve the structure of your life or something like that with this Ace of Pentacles. So you may want to structure something, release something so that you can structure your life in a different way. So this is about maybe a new truth that you need to come to you need to acknowledge. Also, a new structure that you need to bring into your life. Now, this is not going to happen overnight, but at least you put the intention out there. The thing that's telling me that, yeah, it's good to do this. It's not going to happen like tomorrow. We're putting these intentions out here into the universe, and you have to be clear and concise because with this Knight of Pentacles here, it may take a minute for you to get, the intention that you put out there. Now, for some of us, we've all been disappointed in what's been happening here. And that is the whole point of this administration. This is why I don't want you to think about that kind of thing as you make your new intention about what it is you want to release so that you can get yourself back in balance to where you need to be. There is this one cup here, although we've been disappointed this year. There is one cup here that Spirit is saying, I still have something for you here. I still have something for you. Pay attention. Don't get bored with all the mess that's going on, in the world, in the collective, because that's not the end all. Is what Spirit is saying. And also take a look at yourself, go inside, examine what it is that you really need to release at this time. And you guys, if you will put it in the chat, what you're thinking about releasing, let's see what everybody's talking about. For me, I want to release all of this baggage that's kind of brought my vibration down because of the political scene. And I always say to you guys, they're just fine. They're just going right along, making their money, making us feel miserable for the most part. We try not to listen to it so much and that kind of thing. So the thing that I want to release is all that negative energy that I've been carrying since probably January the 20th or whatever, 21st, whenever. Well, actually, it started before that, November, when we got the news that who we wanted to win, who did win, was not going to take office. She was not going to take office. So just think, that's a lot of months that we have carried a lot of negative energy, and for the most, it's not going to help us to continue to do that. So that's one of the things that I want to release. Hi, Witch Digital. So can you guys let's see what you're talking about. Okay, Christine says, I have to release the pain and sorrow of losing my Oh, wow. Yeah, that's hard. Losing my grandma and realizing, oh yeah, my brother took my inheritance. That's hard. Yeah. But, I feel like it was something like that, Christine. He's not going to be okay. I mean, in the long run, you have to look at that too. He thinks he's getting away with something, but really he's not. Anybody else? If you guys want to just light a candle, this is what I'm doing, guys. I've lit my candle. And like I said, I want to release all that negative energy. And I have a good thing about this negative energy. And this is all about how we've been bamboozled, in a sense. And it's not because of us, it's because of the people the MAGAs that thought, this is what we want. We want change because, we want to be like him. We want to get rid of the people that, whatever, the people that they don't like. We know that MAGA has a problem with people of color and that kind of thing. So, I mean, but we have to release that negative energy. And what I have here is a bowl of water. Guys, if you can get yourselves a bowl of water, what you want to release, you want to put it under this bowl of water, because the water is going to absorb those things that you want to release. Okay? Let's see who else has put something in here about what they want to release. And Witch Digital says, I'm going to do that now. Yeah, light a candle. Light a candle, guys. And just get a little cup of water or something. And when you write down what you want to release, make sure you put it under that bowl of water. Okay? Anybody else have anything that they're releasing right now? And remember, guys, going within really helps a lot. Okay. We know that we're going to have some kind of change coming up. I just feel it, guys. I just feel it. And I felt that he was on his way out, but we all know that if he's, one way or the other. But I think as a collective, if we, do these rituals together, we can help with that. We're going to focus our attention in a different way. Honestly, guys, here's the truth. Law of attraction. The more we talk about him, the more he stays in front of us. The more we call that name, the more we see things happening. He doesn't, because we're giving him our energy, So now we want to keep that positive energy to ourselves. We don't even have to think about it, And I know he's doing some horrific things. We all know that. But after tonight, guys, we're not gonna focus on it like that. Okay. So now the next thing I want you guys to think about is what it is that you want to receive after you've released. Now you need to think about what is it that you want to receive, because you always have to replace it with something. So if you release something out of your life, what are you going to replace it with? What is it you want to receive? So I'm just going to talk to Spirit to give us some information on what we might receive if we release those negative energies. For me, negative energy. For someone else, it may be something different. Jackie says she's ready for 2026. Yeah, me too. It's got to get better, guys. It has to get better. All right, Spirit. What is it that we can expect to receive once we release whatever it is that we are going to release? And you can just write down, guys, what is it that you want to receive? I know I want to receive more positivity. I want to receive health, better health, because I went through a thing with my health. And I also want to receive more structure in my life. Now, that's another thing that you can write down here. Like I receive and health, positivity. Now, it's like I said, it's going to be different for everybody, depending on what you went through this year, and structure. I don't know about you guys, but and I'm going to put this also under the water because I want it to be absorbed. But this whole year seems like to me it's kind of thrown off everything. It's like I feel like my life has been kind of out of balance. Who else feels that way? Am I the only one? I feel like my life has been out of balance because I've given so much to something that I probably shouldn't have. And, it's like I know that my energy is lower than it would normally be. Spiritual Cherry, how are you? Have you been healed from your accident? I'm healing. I'm healing. Thank you for asking. The thing about it is, guys, they already told me it's going to take a year or more. Now, on the outside of this injury that I have here, it looks like the skin is healed from the graft. Still a little sore, and it still aches, and I couldn't understand why they're saying that a year or more. But it's because the tissues on the inside from the burn has to heal from the inside, even though the outside looks healed. And the inside is still it's still not there yet. And it's been what? It happened in July 20. Wait a minute. I think this happened July 16th or 17th, somewhere in there. So we're talking about July, August, September, October, November, and December. It's been 6 months. Trust me, I'm counting down the months as they go because I am feeling better. I am nowhere as bad as I was, but it's still there. It's still there. I don't know. You know what, guys? And I think about people who really get burns all over their bodies and stuff like that. And I mean, how you even get through something like that when a big portion of your body has been burned? Trust me, I only have a little portion from here to around here, under my arm and that kind of thing. But I can't even imagine if you get large burns all over your body. So really, I'm thankful for where I am. But yeah, I still have my days. But it's like, and mostly at night. And I was talking to my daughter about it. She said, "But you know, that's when you're healing. That's why you get the pain at night because you have settled down, and now things are working to heal. And sometimes I can get these really, really sharp pains, and I'm like, okay, it'll take my breath away. I'm like, okay, all right, you know." But like I said, from where I came, I had to do all this therapy because at one point, I could not do this. I could not move my arm up because of the burns that were under here. But now after therapy, I can do all that, and I have a full range of emotion again. So, I'm just thankful that that was my whole point when they asked, "So what do you want? Where do you want to be?" I want everything I had before I had this situation. I want to be able to use my arm and do that kind of thing as I, have been doing. So, had been doing before, but it has slowed me down. And when you're sitting around and not doing a lot, guys, your energy, it's like, what happened to the energy that I had? So I got to get back into that. I got to get back into my movement, like my working out and stuff like that, and doing things like that. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to keep going. I mean, it's it just makes you think sometimes. This card just came out, the death card, so that we're in for a lot of change coming up next year. So guys, just look forward to that. Um, yeah, which says that's one of the most dramatic things that kind of injury. Yeah, you would think that it wouldn't take that long. I'm like, what? You can admit, I just feel really bad when I think about people that have really been burned in fires and stuff, and I see why now they're laid up in the hospital for so long and all the bandages and all that kind of thing. It's just, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you guys hung in here with me, as I make this new transition. I do call it a transition in my life because I've learned a lot from just sitting down and talking to spirit and just, you know, um, listening to what it is that I need. And people ask, "Oh, what do you think? Why do you think it happened?" I could give you a different answer every single day. There is not one particular thing that made me that I can say, "Well, I think it happened because of this." And I think, but the next day I'm like, "Oh, I think it happened because of that." But I'm sure that one day it will be revealed to me exactly, you know, what the deal is because I've been cooking for a long time. And to have that happen, so it's just one of those freak accidents. Yeah, I think we're getting a reset. We definitely are Witch Digital. I think that we all are. Um, and I hate to keep saying this, but I think it's something that Spirit wanted us to realize. We've been living in this false delusion for so long. And, it's like it's time to wake up. Which says, I've been doing some interesting things when it comes to what's going to be a part of the future, of the main things, regardless of the main things. Where was I? That we've been talking about, but other things, and I've been preparing. Right, right. That's another thing, guys, to prepare. We don't know really. I heard people talking about they have these inside gardens now. I know you can get these things on Amazon or whatever that you can plant an inside garden, um, that kind of thing. Not you can't have a garden like you would have outside, but you can have some things because we don't even know what they're doing to the food, all that kind of thing. But the thing I'm saying is we got to prepare ourselves for whatever is coming. Which says on a personal level, I've been okay. Okay, we got that. Um, okay. Oh, thank you, spiritual. I love you all too. I appreciate you guys for hanging in here with me. Um, my green eye says my sister got badly burned decades ago and she still feels it. Wow. Just not as intense. So grateful that you're healing. It's a lot you're going through. Give yourself credit. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And much love. Thank you so much. And that back at you. Yeah. Yeah. I know my kids say the same thing, but you can't, Ma, do you remember what you come from, where you were? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm ready to just move on. Um, it takes 6 months to a year to recover from a burn. What does not go away are the scars, both physical and mental. Yep. Um, from the trauma. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was a big trauma for my body and for me too. Just yeah. But hey, life goes on. I'm just grateful that it wasn't worse. Could have been worse. When I think about it, Um, I have some burns on my shoulder, but it didn't get, it's not visible. I can hide these, you know. Um, but it was moving up, but spirit was with me. I mean, I feel like my ancestors protected me. I really do. I had some protection there because it really could have been a lot worse. Um, we need to grow food. Yeah, we need to grow our own food. This year I had a lot of things. You know what I like to grow, guys, is the herbs. And I had a lot in my garden this year, but I couldn't get them because, of course, I couldn't harvest them like I would normally do. But I had all kind of herbs and things in my garden that I couldn't do anything with this year, so they just went bad. But next year, and I grow the herbs and I dry them out, and then I use them throughout the year for whatever. And I just gave from last year. I had still a bunch left. I just gave my sister a big bag of them for her Christmas. You know, so she can use them whatever way she wants to use them. Yeah, yeah. And which says I've been working personally with technology, not as a professional, but I've been learning a lot about it because one way or another, there's going to be good and bad from the new technology. Yeah, yeah, we have to be careful, but you have to be on it. You have to know. OG says Jesus is the reason for the season. That's for sure. And knowledge is power. Yes, it is. Knowledge is power, guys. And that's why we have to, you know, keep up. We have to keep up. We have to know. We have to know what's going on, but we don't have to dwell in it. I think we did a lot of dwelling in it last year, this year. And I think that what we have to do, and I always tell you guys that too, power. We have to take our power back. It's like we've given it away, guys. Not knowingly, but we have. All right, let's see. What is the spirit that you want us to look at to receive as we move forward in 2026? I like that. You know what, guys? I'm going to stop at those three cards right there. Ace of Wands. That's telling me, and this card is a lot about intention, intuition, um, making things happen, getting things out there that's going to help change things. Now, here's the deal. You can set this intention to change something in your life. You want to receive something. Spirit is saying you're going to receive more intuition. I think that's one of the things that we're going to get more of, more spiritual um, answers and things like that. I think if we really listen, if we really go within, that's what we're going to find out that we're going to get. So I think if you take the action to do things that you need to do, that things will change. And one of the things that I'm doing, guys, is I am changing, like before the new year, I'm going to do at least three things. When I say three, that's because three is creation. You know, first there was the one, then the two, then there was three. Okay. Um, so that's the creative number. So I'm picking three things this year that I'm going to do differently, that for 2026, that I'm going to do differently than I did in 2025. Three new things. It's just going to rewire your brain and kind of send you off into a different direction. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, the way you've been doing it, nothing's going to change. And it takes us to change our lives. So I don't know, maybe you listen to, I like to read a lot. So I think I'm going to listen more to audiobooks. I had kind of put aside my artwork, you know, and I think that I'm going to get back into that, but maybe do something different as an artist instead of what I was doing in the past. I don't know what the third thing is yet, but I'm going to do some different things. So, guys, you need to think about that kind of thing also. Find three things, and you can even write this down tonight and put it under that glass of water. Set that intention. Three things that you're going to do differently than you have done in 2025. That's going to help you change how 2026 is going to go for you. The next card we have up here is the Queen of Pentacles. Again, this is about structure. This is about health. This is about money. So Spirit is saying, what we can receive if we decide to change some things is a different kind of structure. Even the money in your life you could be more abundant with the money, and the structure, like I said, your health. This is about health and that kind of thing too. So some of you may want to think about your health and what you can do to make your health better. Maybe maybe you should stop eating so many chips or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything monumental, but just change something and stick to it. And I hope you guys are, because this is a good day to write these things down. Okay. And then we have the Six of Wands. We know this is all about success. This is all about winning. Spirit is saying, you do these things and you're going to be successful in, 2026. You're going to be successful. You're going to win. And it may not be monumental wins or whatever, but like I said, this little small things that you do. But once you start making those shifts and start changing things in your life, you can see other things that may come to you. The Spirit might download something and say, now that you've done that, let's try this. So you're constantly doing new things, different things that's going to raise your vibration, because these are things that you want to do. These are things that's making you happy. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to look at that and, just keep moving into 2026 to make it a better year than 2025. Okay. Anybody want to share what they've written so far? Okay, which says within the last month and a half, I have been really been able to release creativity. Some of the new technology has actually been nice to have a creative outlet. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Um, I think that we should all be doing something creative. I mean, even if it's just whatever you do, if it's just cooking, um, whatever you do that makes you happy, using your hands in some kind of way, or whatever it is that you might do to create. Some people dance, some people write, some people journal. All those kinds of things are things that you can do that's just for you. And that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the things that are just for you, that's going to help you receive a better 2026 as you move on. Okay. And you say, even though I'm relatively good with my eating, sometimes I know I do overindulge, and that's a good one for me to do as well. Yeah, you know what, the food part. Um, this is not for, yeah, don't feel like you guys have to do what I do. This is just me. But I'm just gonna let you guys know something. I'll say maybe 20 years ago, I got this diagnosis of I was borderline diabetic, right? And I knew that a lot of things contributed to it, not just my eating habits, but I was under a lot of pressure. I was really stressed out. I was trying to finish up a degree, and all those things led to me getting high blood pressure, borderline diabetic, all those kinds of things, because I wasn't taking care of myself. I was just focused. When I focus, I just focus, and I was focused on finishing up that degree. So um, during that time, I kept my going to the doctor, because it's like I kept kind of gaining weight. Like every time I go to the doctor, I had gained 5 more pounds, right? I think a lot of it was menopausal too, guys. But anyway, she told me, she said, "Oh, you're borderline diabetic. So what I'm going to do is I want you to come back in a month, and we're going to see where you are in a month." Mind you, guys, listen to this. She never said to me, "Well, Mary," well, they would always tell me, "You need to, work out more," and that kind of thing. But I'm like, I'm working out. I had a personal trainer, and I was still gaining weight. And she said, "You need to work out more." And I'm thinking, I told my husband, I said, "I don't know how much I can work out." Well, that has the menopausal thing, it's part of the menopausal thing. But it took another doctor to tell me that. I had to leave that doctor for another doctor to tell me that. But anyway, here's the deal. She didn't tell me what to do or anything. She just said, "I want you to come back in a month, and we're going to see if I need to put you on any medication or anything like that." So, doctor, I'm thinking to myself, me being who I am, because I am a researcher, why did she tell me, "Mary, maybe you need to, you know, cut this out. Don't eat so many sweets. Don't do this. Don't do that." Whatever. You would expect that. But she didn't. So I just came home and I was like, dang. See, the thing about it hasn't been in my family, which I couldn't understand, but I knew, like I said, I was under a lot of pressure. So I was like, wow, my sisters and brothers don't have it. My mother and father don't have it. What is going on? But on my husband's side, there was a lot of it. Okay. As people had passed from it, people had gotten limbs cut off from it, and that kind of thing. So I made it my mission not to become diabetic. So I'm saying this to say, and I hope I'm not saying this because I want anybody else to follow what I do, or if you are diabetic, continue to do what you've been doing. But when I did my research and I found that out, what contributes to it is how you eat. It's how you eat. And Of course, when you come into a different family sometimes, like, you marry and you come into another family and you start eating the way they eat too, and, not the way that your family ate, and you start cooking it different ways because, your husband likes things, differently and that kind of thing. And so what I did was I went cold turkey. I went cold turkey. I cut out all the meats. I'm probably giving you guys too much information tonight. You guys probably didn't know these things about me, but I'm like, okay, so it's just story time. I cut out the meats, only ate fruits, vegetables, the snacking, all that. I did my research and I started making smoothies, anything that was healthy, smoothies, juicing, just eating fruits and vegetables. And the next month I went back to her and she says, I don't know what you've been doing, but whatever you're doing, your levels are so far down now. Just keep it up. I was so happy to hear that I have never touched it again. And people say to me, well, don't you want it? Don't you, when you see it, I cook it. I cook it for my husband. Um, but no, I knew that I didn't want to be that. And I was determined not to have that problem in my life. That I just, and sometimes spirit shows us things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that I was around those people that had it. And so it made me realize, it opened up something in me. It's like, you really don't want to go down this road. And so I just changed overnight. Now, I'm one of those people, like I said, I just focus. I went cold turkey and I cook it for my husband right now. For a while, he was on the kick with me. He'll go back and forth. He'll eat whatever I cook. If I decide I'm not going to give him any meat, he's good. He's one of those men who he'll just, he's fine. He's fine with whatever I make. But I don't want it. And that includes any flesh, even fish. I don't touch any of it. Um, so that's just a little story there for you guys about me. But yeah, so I do try to. We have a garden, and I'll let you guys know if I invest in something that I can put on the inside this year, because I feel like I don't know if I could put it in the garage. Well, we get so cold around here. I mean, like it's 20 degrees today. I don't even know if that would work, but I would have to bring it on the inside and do my little planning. I'll let you guys know if I decide to do something like that and see if it grows. Some people have good success at it, but I don't know, because I've never tried to do anything on the inside. I don't try to start something on the inside and then take it outside. I just plant everything outside. So anyway, yeah, Christine says she's been fasting, and that's good. Um, Yeah, I've done some fasting before too. That's a great thing to do, because it kind of resets your body. Kind of resets your body too. Oh, you're welcome, Rich. Which digital Sims? Um, spiritual alchemy says, "Oh, that's fine. She's sorry that I experienced that." We all go through. We don't know what's going to happen. We can be just every day, just living everyday life, and the next thing you know, something pops up. So I mean, it's just a part of life. Everything is not going to go smoothly all the time. Um, okay. Green Eye says, I choose to get out more and walk more, engage with people more. I'm 69 and basically a shut in of my own devices. Yeah, I'm going to strive to laugh more and really, really laugh. Yeah, the one of those deep, deep laughs. Sometimes, guys, just watching, let me tell you, sometimes I'm online and I look at some of these things that people are doing or saying, just the comedy of it. And it just cracks me up sometimes. And I know that I need to do that because I need to release. So even if you can find a good movie that's a comedy or something like that, that's gonna cheer you up, make you laugh, make you feel better, that kind of thing. I think that's a perfect thing to do because we are inundated with so much negativity. Let's see what everybody else is saying here. Yeah. Oh, and you're so welcome. Um, yeah, I like sweets right now. Like we had, I went over to my mother-in-law's today and we had, it was like fish. They had fish, um, fish, chicken, lots of sweets. That's still hard for me to turn down. Fries. And I brought this huge salad. Oh, and coleslaw. So I ate the huge salad, a few fries, and coleslaw. And I got full. But guys, I did have Christmas candy. I mean, hey, we can't just give up everything. I wouldn't eat that on a normal basis. But yeah, I like candy. I like popcorn. If I get chips, I'll do something like the light chips, that kind of thing. But just sitting around like I've been doing lately with this injury, I can see where things are different with me, and which I got to get back to getting on my exercise machines and stuff like that and doing, and I know I'm going to get there. I feel like, yeah, I am. So, yeah, that's good. You've got to have something. Yeah, you can't live in this life and everybody, you got all these things around you, people are bringing in, there's certain things now I'm going to turn down, like I said. But what's wrong with having a piece of Christmas candy? You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. I think that's good for us. I mean, just indulge a little bit. And if you do, cut something out that you would normally eat to make up for it, have your piece of fruit or something to help you digest it and move on. Okay. So now with this next group here, I'm going to ask Spirit, and you should write down what you choose to do. Like Witch did here. She says was that witch talking about what she was choosing? No, that was my green eyes who said that she chooses to walk more and engage more with people and that kind of thing, which is good. It's never too late. You say you're 69, basically a shut in. Guys, you can find, like, go to the Y and stuff like that. There's probably place you can walk around and that kind of thing. In the kind of weather that I'm in right now, you won't want to be outside walking. It's too cold. So find places like that. Go to the mall, that kind of thing, and walk around. Yeah, just get out. Just get out and I like to go to the bookstore. There's always some chatty people in there when you're standing there, maybe waiting for some coffee or something like that. There's always chatty people. So, yeah, just get out and just do something different. So we're going to ask Spirit to give us some information about the choices that Spirit would like to see us have. I just want some suggestions from Spirit about what we might do to make things better in our lives in 2026. Okay. Choices that we have to make. Choices, give us some ideas and what might happen when we make those choices. Okay, that turned over. The Seven of Pentacles here, guys. This particular one in particular, it's all about planting those seeds so that you can have choices. Now, we just talked about, you know, the gardening or that kind of thing. At this time of year, depending on where you live, you can't do that. But this is about planting the seeds so that you can have choices. So decide what it is that you want to do and then start planting those seeds, is what Spirit is saying. So you got to take some action. You got to take some action um, so you can have growth. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. Um, the Four of Pentacles, normally we talk about when we see that card, it's more about holding on to something. I think that what Spirit is saying, if whatever's working for us at this time, hold on to it. But I still say, realize what it is and be grateful for it. But I still say you need to find at least 3 things that you want to turn around. This is a choice you're making. So choose to hang on to what is working for you. Okay, whatever that might be. And maybe you want to, work on that some more, give it some more of your energy, and other things that are not working, you need to release, which is what we just talked about. Let's see what else we have. The Queen of Pentacles is showing up again. Now we have this with these 2 cards here that showed up. The Queen of Pentacles. You know she's about structure, money. She is the queens are all nurturing. We know that. But when I look at these 2 cards that we got here that came up, I just see growth. Choose to grow. I mean, here we have this card here, and there is like planting, and there's the growth coming up. Then I see the same thing. She's sitting under this tree, a green tree with growth. We can even talk about health. Choose to be more healthy, because Pentacles also talk about health. So we want to, maybe choose something like that. And what else do we have here? Knight of Wands. This is all about choosing to take action. Now, this particular Knight of Wands, she's having a good time. It's like she is beating the drum and the horse is dancing in behind her. So this is something that you might want to think about doing. Maybe you want to listen to music or whatever it does you do to beat your own drum that's going to make you happy. This is something that you should think about doing. Choose it. Put it on your calendar. Every Monday or Sunday or whatever, at the beginning of the week or at the end of the week, wherever you want to put that on your calendar. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some kind of action. And I say put it on your calendar because if you don't, hey, by the end of January, you won't be doing it anymore because you didn't make space for it. You didn't make room for it. Okay. So when when we are releasing these things, and we need to put something else in the place, because if you're going to release something, guys, let me tell you, if you're going to release something and not replace it with something else that you want, life is just going to come in and give you something, and it may not be what you want. So anytime you release something, remember that you have to replace it with whatever it is that you want. And what I don't want you guys to do, guys, here's something you can do. If you have a calendar for 2026, or just write it down right now, make a note to yourself. Every week or month or however you're going to do it, put something in there for the whole year that you're going to do differently. That's about beating your own drum and doing whatever, no matter what else is going on in the world, you're going to do what you need to do for yourself. Okay. And that, like I said, it's all about choice. And here we go again, a Queen of Wands. We got wands, wands, wands. Well, we got wands. We got the two wands. We have another queen here. And of course, she's talking about taking some action. She's talking about taking some action. Now, if I look at this card here with this fire or light coming up out of her hand, I'm thinking about maybe something that you want to manifest and you want to take the action to do whatever it is to bring that manifestation into your life. Okay. So that's what I think, guys, that you should look at as those three things. And make sure you, like I said, write those things down. This is the choice. Whatever you choose, write it down, put it under your water, because water absorbs. So the universe is really going to know what it is that you want to do. Light yourself a candle, get yourself a journal, get yourself a calendar, and be intentional about what you're going to do as you move into the new year. So, you guys have anything you want to talk about right now? I hope that's helped you. Christine said, I'm so drained. 2025 is exhausting, but I'm grateful to be alive. That's right. If you're here, you can still do something about it, but you have to choose to do something about it. Yeah. Yes, very good advice. Make a choice to put in the time to do something for yourself. Yeah. And try something new that you haven't done before. We're on this, yeah, I feel like I'm on this I want to change some things in my life. And I know that if I'm going to change some things, I got to do some things differently. And so that's where I'm at right now. So that's what I see myself doing. I think I'm going to pull an angel number for us, though, guys, and see. This is from the angel numbers deck, and see what else that spirit wants us to know. All right, spirit. What else is it that you want us to know right now? All right. Wow, we have number 700. 7 is a heavenly number. It's number 700. And I'll just read you guys what it says. It says, your thoughts create your reality. Oh, that is so true. That is why, guys, write it down. Whatever you want to bring into your life, write it down. It says there is bravery in wanting something in your life. It can lead to disappointment, but your angels want you to take that chance. Take that chance. That's like the Fool card. You know how he's making that leap? He's taking a chance, taking a risk. So what is it that you want? What is it that you want? They are sending energy to you so as to manifest your desires in your life. Your work today is to want something. This is pretty much what we've been talking about. Wow, right on cue. Write a closely held desire on a piece of paper and put the paper somewhere safe, such as in a bedside drawer. That works too. I've done that before. Write down what you want, and make sure it's exactly what you want. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it away somewhere, And next thing you know, you don't even have to think about it anymore. The fact that you wrote it down, it's like you're putting that energy towards it so that it'll happen. I've had some major things. We'll talk about those stories at another time. Some major things happen in my life because I wrote it down on paper and I expected the universe to make it happen. And it did. So that's a perfect thing. Just get you a piece of paper, guys, get a journal. But I would say what you would do though is take that piece, write it down, like you're writing a letter to yourself, what it is that you want. And, or, you can say, I envision whatever it is that you want. Don't, I envision myself on this vacation where I'm surrounded by water. I'm having a great time laying on the beach. I'm being catered to. I would say something like that is something that you can really see in your mind that you really want to do. I don't use the word want when I'm asking to manifest something, only because it's something that you keep wanting, wanting, wanting. You know what I'm saying? So I would say something like, I envision myself doing blah, 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 blah. Write it down, fold it up, put it away. You don't even have to look at it again. You don't have to think about it again. But when it happens, you're going to be like, oh, I remember I wrote that down. I remember that. Guys, this is really important and it really works. It really works. You can go get the paper then and look at it, but yeah, that's something you can do. Yeah. And which digital Sim says, for a while now, I've been able to create some personal music. Oh, and that's been nice. Well, great. Great. That is wonderful. That's very creative. If you can do that kind of thing, I wish I could do that. I come from a musical family too, but I didn't get it. So, but yeah. Yeah, but that angel number 700 said exactly what we've been sitting here talking about tonight, guys. All right, so okay, what's amazing is I don't have some of the skills, but then technology has allowed me to have a creative outlet. There's so many things that we can do with technology these days. That's very true. I know people talk about how AI is taking things away from people, but AI only there's helpful ways to use things like that that's going to help you develop, but you have to be careful. It's up to you as far as how far you want to take AI. Because I've heard some stories and that kind of thing. So you have to be aware. And I don't know if that's what you're doing, but you're saying that technology has helped you. I feel it's giving me an outlet because I have a creative mind. Yeah, but not the technical skills. Yeah. So it's going to help you um, move along if you use it in the right way. And you may not be using, that kind of thing, but you can go in and ask some questions. What should I do? How should I do it in this way if I want to grow? You know, um, things like that. Don't I hear people saying, well, um, they think that they don't have anybody to talk to, so they talk to AI, that kind of thing. That may be, you don't want to use them as a counselor or anything like that. But there are some helpful things with the technology that we have these days. Even the fact that you can get online. I know in what is it, GarageBand. That's a tool with the with Apple, and there's something in there like an app that you can play the piano and add different things to it, and make your own music and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's great. Anybody else have anything they want to contribute to the conversation? Let's just conversate tonight, guys. Let's just talk about some things. What's making you, what do you think is going to make you feel better as you move into 2026? Put that in the chat for me. What do you think is going to help you to move better in 2026 that you haven't been doing in 2025? And it could be something creative, you know, baking, um, walking, drawing, dancing, that kind of thing. What if, I'm sure I'm missing a whole lot of things, but I'm sure you guys can tell me some things that you do that you want to do that's going to make your life better in 2026. It's right around the corner. It's right here. It's right here. So, what are you guys thinking? Okay. Which says I've been doing some art things as well. I don't have a lot of drawing abilities, but I'm able to put simple ideas on paper or words, and then I'm able to have that come to life. That's one thing. That is very good. That is very, very good. That is that is the thing that artists do. I know because I am one. Guys, I have my channel over there, my art channel that's another thing that I need to revisit in 2026. But yeah, that's how it all starts. Simple things that you put on paper, things that mean something to you, and it can kind of give you the incentive, and maybe, yeah, it can give you the incentive to make the next step in that piece, whatever it is that you're working on. And when I started this channel, guys, I was doing that kind of thing, like a creative art. And as we chatted and that kind of thing, if you go back and look at in the beginning, I was doing some of the art stuff and having chats like this. It's so soothing. It can really bring you back, because I think that when you're doing creative things like that, it's like you're letting spirit flow through you. You don't overthink it when you're creating something. Do not overthink it. Just let spirit flow through you. And before you know it, you've got something. And you're wondering, you're looking at, where did that come from? Why did I put that down there? It's all spirit working through you. So it's kind of like this is what happens to me when I'm making art. It's like I'm kind of like in this kind of daze, and daze as DAZE, and it's just a flow. It's a flow. And before you know it, you've got a piece. That's how I work. I don't like copying anything. Like some people, of course, when you're in art school, they teach you to do this like the masters, and you got to create this painting that's what some master, and I guess it has its own place. But I remember I could not wait to get out, because I was like, I need to do my own thing. I don't want to be, but it's just a method of them training you. But then when you just let spirit work through you the way spirit wants you to, spirit is giving you information. And there's usually a message in there for you when you're done and you look at it and you're like, wow, I did that. So that's wonderful. Olivia Mitchell 7509. I have been learning how to crochet doggy sweaters since I have a Havapu Havapu now. I hope I'm saying that right. That is really, really, really nice. Crocheting is one of those things that's kind of like um, it takes a lot of stress off. It takes a lot of tension off. You know what I'm saying? So that is wonderful to get into. I was around somebody tonight that was crocheting. She said that she was making a cardigan. I was like, wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's nice. So you're gonna make your clothes for your doggy. Does your doggy mind being in those clothes? Or sometimes hear people say they don't really like, but I guess it depends on the dog and the relationship you have with them and that kind of thing. Is that a small dog? Is it like a poodle? I see you say have a poo. So is that like a poodle, Olivia? It sounds like it might be like a poodle. Oh, that's really nice. Yes, I've been making queen size throw blankets. Wow, you're really good. You are really good. You sell them? It seems like you might have a site that you sell them on. If you do, you can put it in the chat. But that's something. And oh, you do. Okay, what's your site? Do you have a Shopify or something? Um, that was one of the first things I learned to do when I was like 8 or 9 years old. One of the ladies from the church would come every week, and me and my cousin, she would teach us how to crochet. But I was never anything like that. I didn't something that big. No, but that's really good. That's nice. What else is everybody else doing that's creative, that helps settle their nerves? Anyone else in the chat that's doing something creative? Okay, not yet. You don't have it yet. You should definitely do something about that, because um, that's really a talent. That's a real skill. Yeah. All right, guys. If there's no more questions or no more chat or nothing else, I just wanted to do something kind of, holiday, kind of get everybody in the right mood, just talk about it. Your mom taught you. That's wonderful. So she must have been good at it too. And that's something you got to be really, really patient. Oh, yeah, it is. Sometimes it is nice just to chat, just to talk about things, guys. And we hardly ever get a chance to just chat and just see what's on each other's minds and that kind of thing. I enjoy talking to you guys. Um, oh, spiritual alchemy 8. I appreciate that. It's good. I appreciate that, and it's good to be here with you guys. You know, and as we move into the next year, I feel like things are going to be better. I think that things are going to start working out in the way that we as a society want them to. I don't know how much farther it can go the other way. I'm always expecting that, you know, things will be good. So I think as we move on into the next year in January, we'll start seeing things really, turn around for the better. That's my feeling. Wishes. I hope everyone has, yeah, have a good holiday and a good new year, guys. Yes. And like she says, many new, great new beginnings. We all deserve it. We all deserve it. So, and just expect it. That's how it's going to happen. Expect that that's what's going to happen for you. Olivia says, I have bad arthritis. Oh, okay. And good for my fingers to keep them loose. Yeah, your fingers to keep them loose. Yeah, you got to keep working them. That's a good idea. That is a wonderful thing. Wow. Yeah, arthritis. Yeah, that can be bad also. But hey, if you're using your fingers like that and making something beautiful from it, I mean, what else can you ask for? That is wonderful. Yeah. Okay, guys, I am going to go, and I don't know. I may try to get back on before. I don't know if I'll be on before Christmas. I'm trying to find my way back. Um, so I'm working on it. Getting back to where I was. Um, oh, but we'll see. We'll see if I can make that happen. Yes. Thank you, Olivia. Guys, we will talk to you soon. And if you need to go back and look at this video again to see, what you need to do, take notes and that kind of thing, then that's great. Just go back and look at it. I really think it's going to help to be intentional about what we want to do and what we want to see and where we want to be in the next year. And you guys have a wonderful holiday if I don't see you before then. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye now. You're welcome, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you. Which I appreciate you all. Good night.